Hi there, and welcome to this video of the Composer's Toolkit. In this video we will be talking about pitch bending, also known as glissando non-temperato. So this is what I'm talking about. On the accordion we can bend pitches. How does an accordionist produce pitch bending? Well, we press a key. At the same time, we increase the pressure on the bellows while bringing the key upwards or depressing it. In these cases, we can go a quarter tone lower, we can even go a half tone or even a full tone lower, sometimes even more. Like for example, if we were to play it on the deepest pitch of the accordion, on the lowest pitch of the instrument, you can hear the pitch bending very well when the notes, the pitches are low. You can also hear them a little bit when they're high. Already when we are on the G of a second octave or A, it's not as easy to hear it. So my recommendation here would be to not go above a G of a second octave when you're writing pitch bending. You can do the pitch bending both in the right hand and in the left hand. You can also do pitch bending with two notes. For example, unfortunately, it's not very easy to bend both pitches exactly in the same way, exactly at the same time. So one of the pitches might go down earlier than the second one, so what you will hear is a detuning of the accordion. It's also possible to do it with three notes, but again, that's the same thing if you have like a chord. Some of the notes are being detuned, the other ones come a little bit earlier, the other ones come a little bit later. You could also hold a note. For example, let's take this chord from before, E minor, and we will pitch bend only one of the notes. You can also start hearing some beatings there. We can, for example, having two keyboards, we can bend one of the pitches in one of the keyboards and hold a note in the other keyboard. For example, if I were to hold a C in the left hand and have a C in the right hand here, I can bend the right hand but leave the left hand. Or for example, an E. Same thing goes for the left hand. I can hold the note here. Something to note about bending the pitches on the accordion: it's very effective when you bend the pitch downwards. we can create an illusion of bending the pitch upwards, but it's extremely difficult to control. And the way we can create this illusion is by already depressing the key and having a lot of pressure in the bellows, and then bringing it to the normal position. I'll give you an example. Or let's try with an F. What's also very important to note is that bending a pitch requires time, so it's highly unlikely that this will come out either 16th notes in a very fast piece or a very fast moment or a passage in a piece. So whenever you are thinking about writing pitch bend, or glissando non-temperato, think about the time that an accordionist actually requires for it to come out. Coming out from what I said previously about having two keyboards, we can create beatings with the accordion. This is here an example of one of the first pieces which actually used this. It's called Flashing by Arne Nordheim. And it starts with the note D, which we're holding in the left hand and in the right hand. And at one point we start bending the pitch in the right hand. So this is what comes out. The more we detune the note, the more we bend the pitch, the faster the beatings become. The less we do it, the slower the beatings are. We can do it also on a low note, so I'll play both E's, which I have on my instrument, the lowest one on the right hand side, and on the left hand side I actually have one octave lower, but I'll play for this demonstration this one. On a button accordion you can actually do it also with a very low pitch. Try it with an F. Since the frequency of the low pitches is very low, the beatings are also slower as a movement. When we're doing this higher, the beatings are obviously faster. One interesting thing, for example, about pitch bending, if we play one note or bend the pitch in the right hand side with a register that has multiple reeds on it, in this case 4 foot and 16 foot, you can clearly hear that there's a tone, the 4 foot reed, which stays up and doesn't bend, while the 16 foot is bending. I'll show it once again. So the pitch bending is possible on both opening and closing. For it's more effective when the bellows is closing, because that way you can actually control the pressure better in the bellows. In my experience working with composers, many times I found a writing like on the string instruments, where you have, for example, the change of the bow and at the same time the glissando on the strings. And it sounds like there's this downwards or upwards glissando, at the same time you have this fast movement. Someone tried also to combine bellows shake and pitch bending, and unfortunately it doesn't work. The reason why it doesn't work is because we have two different sets of reeds per each note. On opening and closing, they are different. So if I were to bend the pitch when opening, when I'm closing, it's a different reed, so it would need to be bent if we want to have this continuous effect. So unfortunately this is something which will not work. Something that we can also do is create a distorted sound. The way we create this distorted sound is by pitch bending on a register that has multiple reed sets open. So I'll put all four of them and I'll do a pitch bend on A. These have been the basics of pitch bending or the glissando non-temperato. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was interesting, I hope you liked it, and I hope it was very useful for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video of the Composer's Toolkit.